So I've got about 200 cookbooks. Every time it's my birthday, every time it's Christmas, people know what to get me, cookbooks. I've also got a bit of an addiction to them, so I go out and buy them myself. And I think over the last 10 years, I've collected about 200 of them. This book comes from my all-time favourite series, which is the Jamie at Home series. So even if I'm a bit bored, sometimes I still watch it. And it's quite old. I mean, I don't know how old it is, probably, I don't know, 7 years old. But it still stands the test of time. The recipes in it are classics. The book is a classic. I like the way it's laid out. I like the energy behind the book. I like everything about it. I mean, I like the rustic nature of it. So something like this crispy and sticky chicken thighs. It's exactly the sort of food that I'm into. And it's a real eye-opener for people, like just how messy you can be, and how you don't have to be so exact. It's not an exact science, cooking. You can throw things into a pot and tear things instead of cut things, and things don't have to be layered up in a perfect pyramid. You can just throw them on a plate, and if the colours are vibrant enough and the food is delicious enough and they're prepared in a sort of lovely way, it just looks beautiful. He also went on to do another one of my favourites, which is the comfort foods. This one has stuff like lobster, mac and cheese, and sort of smooth food that puts a smile on your face. So yeah, so this is the lobster mac and cheese, and I made a homage to this dish with the crab mac and cheese. So obviously for £1 you're never going to get a lobster, but what I found was you can get tinned crab. It's actually quite good. So it's actual chunks of crab in a tin, and you make yourself quite a respectable version of lobster mac and cheese but with crab. So Pizza Pilgrims. So I think I went to one of their very, very first pop-ups years ago, and then since then they've opened a couple of stores. But they're great, so I met these two guys. They're really, really nice guys. And I met their parents. So it was like an event, it was on this rooftop, and I think it was called Forza Win or something like that, and so they cooked us pizza in an oven that they'd created on this rooftop in Shoreditch. And then, yeah, their parents were there as well. I think they're brothers. Yeah, they are brothers, yeah. But yeah, one of my favourite cookbooks ever. So look how lovely their pizzas are. Like, obviously they're using wood-fired pizza ovens, but the techniques that I've learnt from these guys are still techniques that you can use at home. Like, obviously I'm not throwing my pizzas in the air, but I can still get a nice round pizza. What else? Oh, pasta. So this is Theo Randall pasta. Because I use the same pasta recipe that I do to make wontons. So I do a prawn wonton soup that uses not exactly his recipe, because he goes a bit overboard with only using egg yolks, and then he also uses semolina flour and stuff like that. So he overcomplicates it, but it's because he wants the really, really yellow colour. But he's serving some sort of quite expensive Italian food, so he can afford to go that extra mile for the yellow colour. Like it doesn't particularly taste that much better, but if you just look at the vibrancy of the pasta, like the colour that he's getting, it's spectacular.
What's your version?
My version is based on this version, but with less waste, less decadence. You wouldn't really notice the difference side by side, apart from the colour. But he has a lot of really, really nice recipes, and I like the way it's shot. Like, he's not overly fussed on the presentation. So in his restaurant, he's quite big on presentation, but in this book, it's got a very, very, very relaxed feel to it. I've got a couple of different techniques. So the first one is sort of how it's cooked. So you've got to pay special attention to like the browning of the meat, how long you put something in the oven. Like we were cooking some aubergine today, and I wanted it to be really sort of dark in colour, and I wanted it to be really chewy. And I think that you do eat with your eyes, but you know what tastes good, and if you see something that looks amazingly tasty, it just automatically looks good. So these aubergines that I was cooking today, I don't know, they just look so tasty that it made the meal look good. And then doing a dish with rice, let's say there were 3 ingredients, obviously you'd have more rice than you would meat. So you start off with a layer of rice, and then you put the layer of vegetables, and then you put the meat on top. And then it means that you don't see all of the rice, you just see the rice poking out around the bottom of it. And that's quite a good technique for presentation. Right, let's have a look at another one. Oh, so this is quite a fun book. This is when I really started getting into cookery shows, and when I think back on cookery shows, for me there was only ever Jamie, and then Nigella came along with quite a fun sort of take on cooking. So I had to include this book because I've got fond memories of this show. Here's another one. So this is one of the first books that got me into the intricacies of cooking. So I always used to be in love with the idea of cooking and the sort of slapdash Jamie sort of chuck it in the pot and fabulous things happen. But this got me into the science of cooking. So this is Marcus Wareing, who used to work, I think he used to work with Gordon Ramsay, and he's gone into some real immense detail on exactly the perfect way to make some of these key dishes. A little bit over the top, to be honest, but it makes you understand how the dishes are supposed to be executed if you want to get a Michelin star. Like, he's chosen simple recipes here, but you can see his attention to detail. Marcus Wareing knows his ingredients, and he knows exactly how they will behave under certain circumstances, and he knows how to make them behave to get to the ultimate dish. So I've taken a lot from this book. It was a real eye-opener when you realise how tiny little differences in the way you prepare food are going to make dishes taste radically different. So this one is Michel Roux eggs. It's a great book, and it's only got recipes that have eggs in it. So it's similar in spirit to One Pound Meals in that you've limited yourself to a certain formula for the book. And it's just very, very interesting. I think Michel Roux has done more with eggs than any other chef that I can name. And he's even invented his own sauces, his own methods of doing sauces, a lot of them involving eggs. And it's just a very interesting book.